Am I the asshole asking my daughter to pay me for cooking for her wedding? I, a 46 female, greatly enjoy cooking and baking. I've always told my kids if they had a small wedding, I would be happy to provide the food as a wedding gift. My daughter Leslie is getting married soon. They're having 47 guests total, so I offered to cook per my long-standing offer and said I could do something like my peppered beef or jambalaya with some jalapeno cheesy biscuits. Leslie and her fiance, Will, took me up on it and said they would help buy ingredients. Leslie sent me some recipes a few days ago, and when I asked what they were for, she said they wanted to add 1 or 2 big pot dishes that weren't spicy, so Will's family could have something to eat. I know that boy can't eat a popper or most of my meals without getting red in the face, but I didn't think his whole family was like that. Leslie said it's because his father has ulcers and stomach problems, so Will's family was careful how they ate while Will was growing up. I told Leslie I already told her what I was cooking for her wedding, and she argued that I'm making it about me instead of listening to what the bride and groom want. I finally told her I'd cook the extra dishes, but if she's going to treat me like I'm a caterer, then I'll need her to pay me for all of the extra prep and work. Leslie said gifts are supposed to be what the person receiving them wants, and that she might as well hire a caterer if she's going to pay, and then she hung up. I thought Leslie would cool down and come talk to me about how we would handle this and reasonable payment for taking on extra cooking, but my youngest told me when he went to visit Leslie, she and Will were talking with a catering company. Was I wrong to ask her to pay me for cooking? I don't know why OP took that as the hill to die on, especially because it is the daughter's wedding. Like, it is about them.
Right.
And this was supposed to be a gift.
Right. It just sounds petty for no reason. It didn't feel like it needed to be like that.
Dating an escort.
Awesome.
I, 61 male, have been seeing this escort, 44 female, for many years. She's told me a few times in the past that she loves me. She's had a traumatic past, being abandoned by her mom, having a kid when she was 15, and has been in abusive relationships. However, it appeared that she found her own as an escort and made a living from several repeat clients. She seems happy externally. However, she's told me a few times that her work is eating her up. However, she can't quit as she can't figure out another career that pays her bills. I've developed feelings for her, but unsure if one can have a real relationship with an escort. Anyone have experience? I'm like team love. I'm just like,
Yeah.
You try it. Give it a shot.
I think try it out. Obviously, don't make any harsh decisions on both ends. Like, don't have her quit her job.
He says he's been seeing her.
Yeah.
Is that
For
him
many years.
seeing her, or paying her to see him?
I think paying.
Client.
Yeah. I think it's only been a client
Strictly
service
business.
provider relationship.
I mean,
She says she loves him though.
girl, she loved the money.
But what if she really what if it was like,
He's her top client.
maybe.
You're my favorite customer.
Yeah.
If you're not hanging out outside of this, I feel like that's a little bit of a red flag, no?
So OP responds to a comment, yes, that's what I believe is she's telling me what she thinks I want to hear. I only want to hear her reality. But the problem is she began this by telling me she loves me multiple times over a period of time. I didn't react at all for a good while. So I don't know, maybe OP is kind of doubting if the I love you is real or not.
Yeah.
Now I've developed feelings for her, but her actions, as I've spent more time with her, lead me to be more confused of her actual motivation and intentions.
More time with her while they're in session.
I feel like deep down he knows what it really is, and it's either one thing or it's the other, and sometimes it's hard to accept it if it's not the answer you want. But I feel like he probably knows.
My 28 female boyfriend, 29 male of 10 years, has liquidated his 401k without telling me. How do I handle this? My boyfriend and I have been together for 12 years and are technically high school sweethearts. We live in Southern California and are starting to make okay money, bringing in about 150k combined. We have a goal to each make 6 figures by 32 and have been slowly climbing the ladder in both of our careers. We've lived together for 10 years and have recently talked about getting married and starting to plan what the next steps are for getting a house and when we want kids, etc. We both decided we need to really start to budget so we can pay off credit cards and really start saving. We agreed on how we want to budget and have been holding each other to it. He works in sales and got a big bonus in March. About 25k. Even after taxes, it was still a lot more than he thought he was going to get. We were really excited because he could use that to pay off his credit card debt and have a decent start for his savings. Then, when tax time came around this year, he told me he owed $8K to the government in total and used a big chunk of his bonus to pay it. This really shocked me because besides the bonus, his base salary is $80K. He didn't get a bonus last year because it was his first year, so it didn't make sense why he owed that much. He used TurboTax, so I asked him if it was okay to send his tax return and tax info to my parents so that they can give it to their tax guy to take a look at it. He agreed and gave his docs to my parents. Come to find out, he emptied his 401k from his previous job, about $25K. Mystery solved about where the $8K he owed came from. I asked him why he did that and mentioned that that's like the worst thing you can do since he was penalized for taking it out early. He told me it was to pay off his credit cards. I questioned him more and more, and he seemed to not think it was a big deal. I told him that he should have talked to me before he did this, and he responded, quote, "It's my money, so I can do what I want with it." This really hurt my feelings because we have never been that's my money type of couple. We have both always supported each other during financial hardships and generally split things evenly, not keeping close track. I've never really questioned about his finances, but generally knew he had credit card debt. I do too, so I never judged him. I just don't get how he could take out that much money and would have never told me. Also to mention, since I sent his tax info through my parents, they are also now aware of what he did and now think we are both financially stupid and are lecturing me. I had to admit to them that I didn't know he did this, which is even more embarrassing. They are now questioning our relationship and our communication. I told him today that I don't know how we can get married if he's not going to discuss with me about things like big financial decisions. He thinks I'm making a big deal and that it doesn't affect me. How do I handle this?
This would be such a different answer if they were married. And if it was her money, it's his money.
I'm so confused because like he was going to use his bonus for credit card debt. The bonus was $25K. And then he's like, well, I had to cash out my 401k for credit card debt. The 401k was $25K. Honestly, he does sound financially irresponsible, but you're not married.
Yes.
That is his money. I completely agree. Technically, you don't have a reason to be mad. The only thing you can control is yourself. Are you going to take that as the red flag that it could be? Am I the asshole for asking my girlfriend to cut back on her messy hobby? My girlfriend collects rocks and bones, not crystals or anything. She doesn't think they have any magic powers. They're just normal rocks. She's not into astrology or any witch stuff. She sometimes tells me about the rocks and what type of rock they are, and it's usually chert, which seems to just be a normal rock. She's really outdoorsy and she travels a lot for work. And when she gets back from a project, she has a pocket full of new rocks. The bones are usually deer bones that she finds out in the woods, and she doesn't have as many of them. The skulls are cool, but also kind of creepy, and most of them don't even have antlers or anything impressive like that. Her favorite bones are shoulder blades and those spinal bones. If we go on a hike, she'll sometimes stop randomly because she's found a cool rock that looks like a normal rock that you could find anywhere and put it in her backpack or pocket. Sometimes she asks me to carry them, and I have to put dirty rocks in my pockets. She keeps them all over the house, on tables, but mostly in our bedroom, on the dresser, and on her desk. She used to keep the skulls and bones on the dresser, but put most of them in the closet when I said I was creeped out when I would wake up and see a bunch of dead animal skulls staring at me. But she takes some of them out when she's working from home. The problem with the rocks is that there are so many of them, and it's starting to make the apartment seem cluttered and kind of messy. If anyone came into our room, they would just see a bunch of random rocks all over the place. The other day when I was cleaning, I put all of them in a nice box so that they were all in one place, and she got really mad when she got home. She says she likes looking at them and seeing some remind her of the different trips she's taken, even though they all look the same. And she said that they're beautiful and make her happy. She also likes to pick some of them up and carry them around with her during the day. I calmly explained that we were running out of space for her rocks, and maybe she could take photos of pretty views she has to remind her of her trip. And she got really, really mad and said that it wasn't the same, and I couldn't tell her what to do with her apartment, even though we both live here, so it's my apartment too. I tried to get my friend to commiserate, but he said I was being an ass for trying to stop my girlfriend from doing something that makes her happy, and that I should be thankful that her hobby doesn't cost any money. Am I the asshole for wanting a clean apartment? I'm not even telling her to get rid of all of her random rocks and bones. I just want to put them away to make the place look nice. Am I the asshole?
I don't necessarily find OP to be an asshole. I just think that it's like a compatibility thing.
It goes in that category, the new one we have, where you're not an asshole, but you're an asshole for writing it this way because you're trying to make a mockery of
That's true.
You're trying to make a mockery of
Yeah.
her,
They all
what
look the
she
same.
likes to do in
Yeah.
this collection, to try and win everyone over that's reading your write-in to say, yeah, that's super weird. Why would anyone even do that? We're kind of focused on the problem, but we're trying to belittle what she likes to do and the things she likes to keep.